All right, welcome back. We're gonna practice some gradients. A gradient is a fade from one color to another. It can go from white into gray to black, like the example, or it could go into colors to black, colors with gray. In this second box, we're gonna paint a gradient in this box from red to black to red. If I have three things, I want like the center third to be one of them. And if the center third is black, remember black is very intense, so it could easily take over red. I'm going to pick up some red and then begin using the side of my brush to pull a nice straight line. Now, why am I using red? Red is a midtone, so it's in the middle, right? Yellow's super light, dark blue's very dark. This is a gray color, a midtone, because you can accurately see when you tint and shade it, and you get you can really learn a lot from this midtone, okay? So that's why you're gonna do these in red. So now I'm going to pull out a little black, and I'm going to mix a shade, different shades of red. You remember, dark into light, you'll always be right. I'm going to put my lighter shade right next to here. And I can either come in with a dry brush, or I can take my wet brush and I can fade back into my gradient. And this is an important skill because you're going to be doing this on your big painting. So you can see, now I'm going to take a little bit more black, dark into light. You'll always be right. Mix that black into the red. It'll change very quickly and you won't waste paint. I'm going to take a little more black and I'm going to gradually make this gradient, this ombre, this change from one value. You can see I'm painting over my last color. Now, there's a technique called dry brush, where I literally just take a brush that has no paint on it and I can kind of blend it. I can also wet brush it. So you're gonna choose like which way works better for you. Sometimes it's nice to come in. And then I'll add a little bit more black. Gradual. Gradients are gradual. We want to see that fade. And then I'm just going to pick up some pure black. And then I'm going to go the other way. So I've gone from red, shades of red, to black, and now I'm going to go backwards. And I'm taking my brush, overlapping, and here I don't really need to dry brush because I'm backing it up. But if I want to, watch this. What if I put in a very, like maybe I'm not as subtle, right? And maybe I'm learning. So now let me go in with like too big of, see how that's too big of a jump? I can come in with my dry brush and extend some of that darker color in and kind of show me some blur. So that's a trick, is the dry brush. But I think I need a darker value in here. And while it's wet, see how I can correct myself? I can go in and I can add those darker values. Please remember that black is very intense. So I would rather do it gradually than have a huge jump. And when I'm doing a gradient, I want there to be a gentle transition from my values, okay? That's what's gonna make our gradients on our big painting look very believable, is if we have that gentle gradient, the smooth change from one color to another without being quite so abrupt. So then when we're done, we're gonna look at it and see how this area is problematic. It's not abrupt, and I mean it's too abrupt here, so I can just shade it a little bit by putting a little bit more of a fade there, and then I can come in and see how it goes, like dark, light, dark. I can come back in and I'm gonna it's a gradual process. I'm going to tweak it until I get it perfect. Now, the one thing about acrylic paint is you can overwork it too much and it starts to pull up. So you can let it dry and then always come back. Okay, like I see too abrupt of a transition there. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to be a little bit more gradual and tweak it. This is going to be graded on your staying in the lines, your accuracy of gradient, and how you handle the materials. Remember, don't take too much paint, be mindful, wash your brushes. All those things matter, and they're called studio habits. And we're watching. We want to make sure that you have good studio habits and growth, right? Every day that you come in, you want to get a little better, right? It's just like any other skill. You want to get better at painting. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? So you're looking for a gradual fade. And you'll go through the worksheet, you'll follow the directions. Some will be gradients like a starburst out, some will be on a diagonal, and then you'll practice your fractals to get you ready for your gems, okay? So have some fun, practice those gradients, and take your time.